Hopefully I can get this sorted. Oh, it's too long. Okay. I'll leave it. I think there's a option here, is it? Actually, we'll go S1. That should be enough. Oh wait, I'm nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly there. Thumbnail. Screen. There we go. Hi Rick, how you doing? Took me a while to set up the stream. It's been a while since I last commentated. There we go. Okay. Alright, looks like we're ready to go, I think. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully we can have a good day of racing. I mean, it's tier 2, we always have a good day of racing with tier 2. Even with a small grid, it's going to be good, I think. I think is this Harry Bix's first time in tier 2? Certainly Mitch's first time in tier 2, so we do have at least one new one. Oh no, Harry Bix was in France, okay. So he's back on the grid. Okay, I'll keep comments on here. There we go. Alright. So, welcome along to Tier 2. We're here in Azerbaijan. Very technical, difficult track. We had a really good race here in Tier 1 last week. It was raining for the start of the race, and then the rain eased off pretty quickly, much faster than we expected. And then it was a dry race throughout, but it was a very nervy start. So hopefully we can have some good action today. I mean, a wet start would certainly provide that, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, Hephaestus is in as well, so that's 12. That's not too bad in the end. Grid of 12 is pretty good. So Jack Alaco currently leads the championship with 83 points, and it's Harass is the one chasing in the Mercedes on 69 points. So 14 points between them with 2 races to go. It's definitely Jack's to lose. So, but he still hasn't won a race yet. Harass won in Bahrain last week, and Rick won in France. Otherwise, the other 3 were won by reserves. Other than, I mean, Austria and Singapore, MX wasn't a reserve, but yeah, so Jack Alaco will be looking to win here in Baku so that he can not only cement his championship but also get a win, because as much as I'm sure he'd love to have the record of the only driver in APPF1 to win a championship without winning a race, I'm sure he'd love to get one on the board as well. But he does have 3 podiums at least, so but he's definitely been Mr. Consistent. The only race he hasn't been consistent in was last week in Bahrain, where he came a lowly 11th after a very tumultuous race for him, it has to be said. But here we are, we're getting started with short qualifying, 18 minutes, where all 12 drivers will try to set the best lap time they can. So we're getting started pretty shortly. And as I said, we do have a new driver on the grid this week in the form of Mitch. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. He did pretty well in the sprint on Sunday, the last sprint race of the season, and he came second in the second race at Abu Dhabi. So he'll be looking to carry on that form. He's in a Haas today. But everyone's going to be getting their setups on, and we're going to get ready to go. Let me get my spectator menu sorted out while we're doing that. Okay, that should be alright. Can I make that track map bigger? No, alright. I think that's everything. Let me know if I've missed anything, please. I would appreciate that. TTV Max looks like he's going to be the first on track. No! Mitch beats him out onto track on the medium tyres. Interesting choice. So whether he's going to go for a medium tyre start or he's just getting a banker lap that's easier to beat later, we'll have to find out. I have to say, I do occasionally like going on the mediums first in qualifying, just to set a banker lap that's easier to beat later. If it's a short track where I can afford to do 4 laps, it's quite nice to do, because it's nicer to do a lap where you have a delta in the top right that's always green. It makes you feel better about yourself and often makes you do a better lap. So whether he's doing that or he's genuinely wanting to start on the mediums, we'll have to find out. But he's first on track, so we'll ride on board with him as he comes around. With TTV Max just behind him. The 2 Ferraris as well. They're looking to cement their Constructors' Championship. They're currently 48 points clear, which with this point system is ridiculous. And if they keep that margin into the final race, they will win the championship before we even get off the line in the USA. So that's what they're going to be hoping for. Alpine are their closest rivals, so we'll be looking at QB and Hephaestus to see how they do as well. But Mercedes as well could be in with a shout, although Haras is their only driver as of late. But anyway, Mitch gets started with his first lap, hard braking into turn 1 and then hit the apex nicely. Could have gotten a bit wider there, but I think he's just after a banker lap. Looks like TTV Max, has he gone into the pits maybe? But Mitch has hooked up this first sector quite well so far. And he comes hard braking to turn 3. You don't want to clip that curb on the inside, it will send you into the wall. And he comes into turn 4. There's a lot of curves around this track which you don't want to hit. That's one of them. Turn 3 is another one. And the inside of turn 5 here is another one you don't want. Turn 6, sorry. Here he comes into turn 7. You do want to get all the way down the inside like he has done there. Get as much track as possible into the tricky castle section. Got to be careful, don't do a Leclerc. Looks like he's navigating it pretty well. There's yellow flags in sector 1. It looks like, is that either Taylor or Bluey that's crashed? Nice to see Taylor on the grid as well. He's been absent from league racing for a while, so it's nice to see him back on the grid. But here comes Mitch down to the final corner of the track. Technically, these are corners as well, 18 and 19, but not really. It's full throttle all the way down. And Mitch comes to set the first lap of the day down a very long straight. Now he comes to the inside, and it's a 140.321 is the benchmark. Looks like Bluey's on an outlap. Looks like Jack Alacco is going to be the next to cross the line. So where is he on sector times? We'll have to see. The lap record around here is for APPF1 is a 1 minute 39.034. So obviously Mitch is on medium tyres, so he's not going to be anywhere near that, but Jack Alacco is going to be looking to get near it. Here he comes down to the line, fresh soft tyres. What can he do? His teammate's going to be right behind him as well, so we'll have to see where Rick is. First lap is a 40.8 from Jack Alacco, but here comes Rick across the line, a 40.0, and he takes provisional pole for now. Is that Bluey coming across the line? No, that's Taylor coming across the line. Oh no, he's going in the pits, it looks like. So QB is next to set a time, and 40.2, 42.6, what am I talking about? Miliano, 40.6, not bad at all from the Miliano. He's been the driver of unfortunate luck, and he sets a purple third sector as well, to be fair to him. Festus comes across the line, and he goes second at 140.2. So Mitch is doing pretty well on those mediums for now. But yeah, as I was saying, Emiliano is kind of a driver of bad luck, really, this season. He's been there or thereabouts in the midfield of Tier 2 pretty much all season, and when he finishes a race, he usually finishes them quite well, but it's just he seems to have trouble getting it over the line for the checkered flag. So hopefully he'll be looking to get some points today. Who else is on a lap? Bluey is coming to the end of his lap, maybe? Yeah, he is. He's going to start off with a 143.8. Of course, he's in cockpit cam today. Bluey for the first time. Well, I don't think it's the first time, but it's the first time he's done it in a league race, I think I'm right in saying. TTV Max is now on a lap in the Red Bull. See what he can do. Coming into turn 3, he needs to miss that inside curb. He's just clipped it, but he's doing alright. Into turn 4. That's pretty good from the youngster. Coming to this tricky 5 and 6 chicane, it's so easy to lock up there because you're turning into the corner as you're braking, but it's a purple first sector from TTV Max. What can he do as he comes into the tricky second sector? Comes into castle section. He's going to hope those Aston Martins don't hold him up ahead. They might be giving him a bit of dirty air, but he's kept it going, not invalidated out of there. It's surprisingly easy to do that there. Through turn 12, but here he comes, last 2 corners of the track. Turn 13, little bit wide, but he's okay. And that's the end of sector 2, 16.6, and he's navigated the final corner pretty well. Where is TTV Max going to be? He comes around the final 2 corners onto the last straight. Where's he going to be? Is Bluey setting a lap, or is he coming in the pits? No, he is setting another lap. And he settles for 143.0, but it's TTV Max we're watching. He had a purple first sector, but he ends up 6th with a 141.6. So, very good first sector from Max, but just lost out in the twisty sector 2, and maybe in the straights in sector 3 as well. Who's on a lap now? It's like Taylor's on a lap. KTFO is going to be the first to cross the line, so we'll ride on board with him. Oh, has Taylor lost it? No, Bluey. Or was he just going slowly? He might have just been going slowly. But here comes KTFO, he's on the mediums as well. Emiliano is come out on the mediums as well, which is very interesting. See if he can beat his soft tyre lap. But here comes KTFO, what's it going to be? 140.2 on the mediums. Just about beating out Mitch. That's a very good lap from KTFO. Purple third sector as well. What else have we got? Hephaestus is on an in lap. TTV Max has done a lap, so he's probably on an in lap as well. There were yellow flags, I didn't see what they were for. Who else is on a lap? Taylor. Taylor's coming to the end of his lap. Looked like a reasonable second sector, 17.2. I think he was a 16.6 earlier from, I think it was KTFO, so maybe around 5/10 off that for Taylor. Where's he going to be as he comes across the line? Is he going to beat Bluey? That's the key. Yes, he is. 141.9. Beats out QB as well. So Bluey is not on a lap. TV Max in the pits. Jacalaco's about to get started on a lap. Here he comes. The championship leader is harassed that he's going to want to beat, who's currently in the pits. Still hasn't gone out to set a lap, so halfway through this qualifying session. And it's still nothing from Harass, so hopefully we'll see him out on track. Same with Harry Bix, neither of them have come out yet. But here comes Jacalaco, navigates turn 4 pretty well. Down to the tricky turn 5-6 chicane. Oh, that's perfect, all the way down on the inside. Misses the curb, purple sector 1, as expected, with that lovely traversal of the chicane. And he's going to be looking to beat his teammate to pole here. Rick currently on top with a 40.0. But what can Jacko do? Can he dethrone him? Through the castle section, don't invalidate. He doesn't. He hooks it up pretty well. Down he comes to turn 13. There's two ways to do this. Either hit the curb completely or don't hit the curb at all, and he's chosen that one. Down he comes to the end of the second sector. Will it be purple? Yes, it will. He traverses the final corner pretty well, and I think this is going to be provisional pole for Jacalaco. Comes down the final straight. Here he comes. We'll switch to dynamic view. We've got yellow flags. It looks like an Alpine is off the track, or maybe just going slowly. But here comes Jacalaco across the line. What's it going to be? 39.9. Oh, just about beats his teammate to provisional pole for now by just over a tenth. So he'll be happy with that. Championship leader looking to secure the championship here before USA. Who else is on a lap? Is Taylor on a lap? Looks like it. Louis not. QB is on a lap, so he's closest to the finish line. Oh no, he's not on a lap. He's backed out of that one, so we'll ride on board with Taylor again. And he comes to the 5-6 chicane. That looked pretty good to me. Now he comes to turn 7. What's he going to do? Clips the inside well and gets there pretty good. Looks like Jacalaco is just causing yellow. Slowing down. Oh, Taylor almost did a Leclerc there into the wall at Castle. But he manages to hold it well. And down he comes to turn 13. Well, turn 15. I keep forgetting those two corners on the straight also count as turns. So turn 15, traverses pretty well, also chooses the miss the curb option. Or turn 16, he just clips the curb, but I think he's okay. It might have lost him a bit of time, but we'll see where he is across the line. Taylor 0119 coming to the line now. What's it going to be? He's going to look to beat TTV Max to 7th at least. Oh no, he's coming into the pits, alright. He's aborted that one. He was obviously slower than the previous one. So that was a lot of hype for nothing. Thanks, Taylor. Harass on Harry Bix are now on out laps as well. Harry Bix coming up to the line to start his lap, so we'll keep an eye on him. Is anyone coming to the end of their lap? Rick is on an out lap. Hephaestus is on the medium still. That was a bit dodgy through turn 7 there, Hephaestus, and through Castle as well. I don't know if he's actually on a lap or if he's just on an in-lap. Perhaps on an in-lap. Emiliano's probably on a lap though. He's come out on the mediums for a go to beat his, I think he did a time on the softs. Mitch is also on the softs, and he's up 6/10 on his previous time. Mitch GK90 going for pole here as he comes around the third sector. I didn't see how he did the final corner, but he was 6/10 up. If he keeps that up, he'll be pole provisionally by 3/10. What's it going to be across the line? 39.6. He is on provisional pole. So Mitch beats the championship leader to pole for now. Who else is on a lap? Hephaestus is coming into the pits. Emiliano is completing a lap. He was up on his previous time. Is that going to stay? Yes, it is. He beats his previous time by a 10th and goes 6th. Good lap from Emiliano on the mediums. Purple, third sector as well. Looks like Bluey's coming to the end of a lap. He beats his previous time by over a second, but doesn't improve his position. And now Harry Bix is completing a lap. Here he comes to the end of sector 3. What's he going to do? The lap, that looked very quick, second sector. The lap record is a 39.0. Can he beat it? No, he can't, but he can go provisional pole. 39.5 for Harry Bix. He does look fast. And Mitch, the newbie, also looking fast on his debut too. And Harry Bix will be very pleased with that. First lap out and he goes provisional pole. But Rick beats him immediately. 39.2 from Rick in the Ferrari. That's a fantastic lap from him, and he waggles his steering wheel in excitement for that one. He knew that was a good lap, but Harass is now on for a purple first sector. TTV Max has retired. I don't know if we can see from Rick's point of view what happened there. Where is Max? There he is. He's gone into the wall at turn 3, unfortunately. And VKTFO, is that a lap record? Yes, it is. 139.003 from VKTFO. That is a lap record in Tier 2. What a lap from him. But Harass will be looking to beat it now. He was purple in the first sector. He's purple in the second sector. What can Harass do now? Can he get pole position? The Tier 1 lap record has fallen. Can Harass go under 1 minute 39? KTFO's 3,000ths away. Can Harass do it? He was purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2. What about sector 3? No, it's a 39.8 in the end. He must have gotten the last corner wrong, but it does say he was purple in sector 3 as well, so maybe there's a bug going on there, but still 5th place for Harass. He's still in front of his championship rival Jakalako, so he'll still be happy with that. I'm not sure how much time is left because of the yellow flags. But wow, KTFO with a new APPF1 lap record in Tier 2. Harry Bix, is he on a lap? I mean, his battery's very low, so he'd be foolish to go on another lap. But it looks like that might be exactly what he's doing, because maybe he knew there wasn't enough time to go into the pits and get another lap on, so maybe he is doing another lap. He is up on his previous lap, but not by much. But here he comes around this section. We'll ride on board with whoever's closest to the line, who is Taylor, who's 4/10 up on his previous lap. He could beat TTV Max to 10th here, because Max, of course, can't do another lap after crashing into the wall at turn 3. What can Taylor do? And he does. He goes P9, beats his previous lap by 8/10. Great job, Taylor. Beats Bluey as well. And Emiliano is on an in-lap. Is Harry Bix coming to the end of his lap? Yes, he is. He set a purple second sector. What can he do? I'm not sure how far behind pole he was in the first sector, but he's getting a slipstream now off the Alfa Romeo. That's very convenient for Harry Bix. Here he comes up to the line. He hasn't got much ERS left, so that will cost him some time, but what's it going to be? 39.2. He goes second. He beats Rick to the front row. qualifying is now over. Is anyone on a lap? Jakalako narrowly avoids the wall there. I think he is on a lap though. Yeah, he is. So we're right on board with the championship leader. Harass has retired already, so he's not going to be able to go any faster. Jakalako looking to beat his championship rival in qualifying here. He doesn't invalidate that. That was very close though. I think Taylor's on an in-lap, so the only man on track setting a lap is Jakalako, the championship leader. He's currently on a 39.9. He wants to go into that top 5. It would be huge to be ahead of his championship rival in qualifying on the grid for this race, especially at somewhere like Baku, where every mistake counts so much against you. Here he comes to the end of the straight. DRS Open. What's it going to be? It's a 39.6. I'm not sure if that was higher. I think it was definitely better than his previous lap, because I think he did a 39.9 before. But how high will he be? We'll have to see the results. And he did beat his championship rival by just over a 10.5 in the end. So Jakalako will be 5th on the grid. And the championship rivals on the 3rd row together. That's going to be interesting. But it is VKTFO who takes pole position and the APPF1 lap record with an absolutely incredible lap, it has to be said. I'm sorry I didn't ride on board with that one, but wow. Harry Bix takes 2nd place and Rick takes 3rd. They're all looking very fast. Mitch in 4th in the Haas, the newbie. Jakalako 5th and Harass in 6th. And Hephaestus, Emiliano, Taylor and Bluey finished the top 10. And 11th and 12th, I think, were TTV Max and QB. Thank you, Zuba. Appreciate that. But wow, that was an incredible lap from VKTFO. But we're going to get started for the race in 30 seconds time. I think formation lap will be on here. It was off for a week or so because of there were problems with the desync issues, I think, that were reported elsewhere. So, but it's back on now, I think. But we're gonna get racing shortly. And apparently we're going to the lights already. Wow, okay, so Bluey didn't put formation lap on. And off we go. It looks like someone's jumped the start. That's TTV Max. He'll be getting a drive-through, but we're underway. VKTFO gets a good start. Not as good as Max, of course, but is that Rick going around the outside of Harry Bix into turn 1? He doesn't quite make it stick, but he's still side by side. And now Mitch is looking to go through as well. But Jakalako is on the outside through turn 2. Can he get the better of Mitch? No, he can't. Where's Harass? He's too far behind. Of course, Max will be dropping back with his drive-through. But a chaotic start to this Grand Prix. But everyone looks like they've gotten through cleanly, at least. The two Aston Martins now 11th and 12th, unfortunately. But it looks like Hephaestus has dropped quite a few as well. Let's turn on position change. Of course, TTV Max QB making up 3 positions at the start, so great job to him. And Mitch going down the inside of TTV Max, who's got a drive through. Don't fight it too hard, Max. You're going to have to go to the back anyway. And Jakalako looking to take advantage of that, but he can't quite do it. VKTFO already branching out a substantial lead, but Harry Bix trying to chase him down, as well as Rick, who's only 3/10 behind. I'm trying to keep an eye on all the gaps, sorry if I miss anything. Emiliano going down the inside of Harass into turn 15, and he's done it. And does Harass have any damage, I wonder, because he is dropping back now. We'll have a look at his front wing. It does look, yes, he's lost his end plate on the front right-hand side of his front wing, so he'll have to pit. It's a disaster for the championship protagonist, Harass. He needs to close 14 points on Jakalako in these next 2 races, and he's not going to do it like that. Looks like Max is coming in for his drive-through already. VKTFO sets the fastest lap, of course. Harry Bix right behind Rick. It looks like Rick's got him on the straight. Can Harry Bix respond? Coming through turn 2, a little bit of a slide there, but he's staying with him. Jakalako on the back of Mitch as well. I think Mitch is on medium tyres. I'm just going to put detail on tyres so we can see. Oh no, Mitch did do a lap on the softs, I forgot. So Emiliano is on the mediums, the only one who started on the mediums, I think, so he did bloody well to get where he did. And Harass is in the pits. He's gone for the mediums, it looks like. He's going to be hoping for a safety car, which is not at all out of the question at this track. But it looks like KTFO may be struggling for race pace after that incredible qualifying lap. But Rick is right on the back of him. Maybe he just made a small mistake. They're going to be looking not to do any Charles Leclerc's. I'm going to say that a lot, but it's true. Hephaestus on the back of Emiliano. Oh, the bit of a slide from Emiliano there through Castle. But he's kept it going. And Hephaestus will be looking to secure 3rd place in the championship as it stands. He's under pressure from Rick for that spot as it stands, but he's going to want to keep that top 3. As Emiliano goes into the wall, no, it's a disaster for Emiliano again. He started on the mediums as well, so that's even more of a pain for him. He's gone into the wall at turn 15. Oh no, but it will cut to the action here as Rick goes down the inside of KTFO. Can he make the move stick? We're going to switch to the better camera here as they go down to turn 1. Rick is just ahead, but VKTFO is still right behind. He sets the fastest lap in the Ferrari. But KTFO can't quite get ahead of the Ferrari as they come into turn 2. DRS now enabled, so VKTFO, yes, he will have it. The detection point was just before turn 2. Here he comes round the outside for turn 3. This could get messy. We'll change to Rick, but he sensibly backs out of that one and lives to fight another day. Emiliano into the pits for hard tyres. They'll be looking to go to the end on those. Oh, you're going to have a bad time on those tyres, Emiliano. The hards are horrible round here to drive. And it looks like this is the battle for the lead. Bluey is on the back of QB as well, so keep an eye on that. Just 3/10 between them. And, oh, just a tiny bit between them. Did anything happen to Bluey there? No, it looks like he just backed out, I think, because I just saw the gap go up massively, so I wondered if he crashed, but no, he's fine. As Rick still right on the back of KTFO. Harry Bix has fallen off the top 2 as it stands. Mitch is in 4th. Jakalako is cruising in 5th at the moment. He knows he doesn't need to fight too hard to secure his championship here, especially after Harass's damage and going into the pits, but we'll keep an eye on the top 2. There's yellow flags in sector 2. What's happened? It looks like TTV Max has had a spin on the exit of Castle. He's lost his front wing, so he's going to have to pit again. That will promote Harass and Emiliano up a position or 2. But here comes Rick now. We'll keep an eye on this battle for the lead. Here he comes again. He's got DRS to the inside of turn 1. And I'm not sure KTFO is going to be able to fight that too hard, but Rick, it looks like... Oh, I need to turn telemetry on. I'm so sorry. KTFO's got 66% in the battery. Rick has only got 10%. He's going to be very vulnerable here onto this straight for turn 3. TTV Max has unfortunately retired from the session, but here comes KTFO. That Ferrari is so vulnerable with no ERS. He's used all of it up in 3 laps. How have you managed that, Rick? But VKTFO now retakes the lead. Sensible ERS usage can win you races, and KTFO is proving that now, as Rick is now probably going to fall off the McLaren certainly in the straights, and he's going to struggle to overtake him even with DRS with that low an ERS rating. Harry Bix looking to catch up as well. He's got 63%. Mitch and Jacko also on decent percentages. TTV Max has left the session. So unfortunate for him to DNF so early, but it is Baku. It can happen. But it looks like Rick has really fallen off. Did he make a mistake? He must have done, as Harry Bix goes down the inside. I must have missed that from Rick. I'm so sorry. Oh, he's lost his entire front wing. He must have binned it at the exit of Castle. It's a disaster for the Ferrari driver as he looks to take third place in the championship from Hephaestus. And he's going to have to pit for new tyres now. He's going to have got to be careful not to go into the wall here. It's really easy to do without a wing, but he traverses it fine. His Ferrari teammate's going to go past as well, but Mitch now on the back of Harry Bix. And QB on the back of Taylor as well. This is an interesting battle, but we'll keep an eye on them as Harry Bix peels into the pits. That's an early stop for him, but I'm sorry to keep switching, but I've got to keep an eye on QB. Taylor's out of ERS, but Taylor's gone into the pits, and here comes QB now up into 7th place, up into 5th place after the pit stops. Harry Bix, Rick onto the mediums, Taylor onto the mediums again, yep. So I'm not sure if they're going to the end. We'll have to find out. Harass now sets the fastest lap on those fresh medium tyres. Is he going to come out ahead of Rick? No, he's not. Just behind the Ferrari. So, despite that fastest lap, and he's clearly been going really fast, and he's used a lot of his ERS to do it as well. He's all the way down to 8% already, whereas Rick back up to 50% after the pit stop. So, Harass is going to struggle here to get past the Ferrari, and this could really play into Jacalaco's hands if they enforce team orders here between them, and Rick just does his best to keep Harass behind. Then Jacalaco is going to look very, very good for this championship. As Bluey onto the back of QB now. Can he get past? He's got plenty of ERS. He hasn't used any at all, whereas QB down to half battery. So Bluey's got the advantage here, but he does fall back a little bit on the exit of Castle. Will he get DRS, I wonder? The DRS detection point is midway through the straight. It's going to be close. And he's got Harry Bix to think about behind him as well. I don't think Bluey's going to get DRS here. He's not using his ERS to get back up there. Oh, and he's had a little bit of a slide. Did he lose his front wing? Oh, I can't see if he got any damage, but either way, Harry Bix is going for him. He must have got damage. I think he's coming into the pits. Yes, he is. Oh, but they're both coming into the pits. Oh, that could have been a disaster. Oh, my word. Thank goodness they avoided contact. That could have been a massive disaster for both of them. Whew. But anyway, Harass is falling off Rick a bit, as we expected. God, that could have been a complete disaster. Oh my word. Yeah, I think Bluey must have got damage. Or not actually, because he came out ahead of Harry Bix, so unless they both got damage and both had to replace their front wings, which is possible. It did look like Harry Bix was very close to him, so he might have had damage as well, but if he did, then this overtake is just revenge, as he creams straight past Bluey on the straight. Very easily done from Harry Bix on the soft tyres, so he will have to stop again. I'm not sure if the mediums can go the whole way. I can't remember. I think they can, but it's tough. So I'm not sure if we'll see anyone doing that. But KTFO is leading very comfortably, and Mitch is now on the back of QB. He looks to make a send into turn 15. That's not going to work, Mitch. And he rightfully backs out of that one. QB leaves him a little bit of space, just enough for him to be able to back out at the very least, which was nice of QB. He didn't have to do that. But here comes Mitch now. He's got ERS. What's QB got? Only 35%. Mitch is going to have DRS as well. QB on those old softs. It looks like he's heading into the pits anyway. And he is. Oh, God, be careful, QB. Oh, my word. Mitch nearly went straight into the back of him then. Wasn't expecting him to break so early, but that does promote the championship leader back into 3rd place and Harass back into 5th place. So he's doing really well after that lap. I think it was a lap 1 incident, and he came into the pits. No, it can't have been lap 1. He's only done 4 laps, so it must have been like lap 3 or something. But he had to come into the pits after some wing damage. But he's done really well to get back into this race. He did some outrageous laps on those fresh mediums, and now he's back in the race. But KTFO leads this race very comfortably. Emiliano right in the back of Taylor. He's got plenty of ERS compared to Taylor's 13% even after coming out of the pits. Dear oh dear. Some of these drivers need to keep an eye on their batteries. This is the battle at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on the gap between Rick and Harass as well, but I'm not expecting Harass to really have any bearing to overtake Rick, because Rick... Oh no, never mind, he's using all of his ERS again. So Harass is going to be right back in contention here if he can keep up with the Ferrari, even with medium tyres for 3 laps older. He's going to be in a good position as Harry Bix goes past Emiliano here at the exit of Castle. That must have been an opportunistic overtake on the soft tyres, but he's made it work. And he's into 8th place. KTFO now sets the fastest lap. He is flying out in front. And Rick is now trying to catch Jackalacco, but he's not going to do it with 3% battery. Compared to Jackalacco's 37%. So the teammates battling again. These two Ferraris have been really going at it the past 3 races. Rick joined the team for the race in Abu Dhabi and hasn't looked back. He's been very rapid in this Tier 2 championship. And if he had been from the start, he would have been a real championship contender, but he couldn't join the first 2 races. But he's in now, that's what matters, and he's on the back of his teammate now. And we'll keep an eye on the gap for Harry Bix as well, because he's on those fresh softs, and he's going to be looking to catch Taylor, although that gap is coming down. Oh no, Emiliano! He's... has he spun it? Or I think he outbroke himself into turn 3, and he's had to go down the escape road. No reset to track, thank goodness, because he get a penalty for that, but he does keep it going, but he has lost the position to Bluey now. And Bluey takes that curb, but Harry Bix is chasing Taylor down, but Rick is chasing his teammate down as well. Jackalacco's got plenty of ERS though, so Rick could find it difficult to overtake his teammate. Even with the superior pace, as we saw in qualifying, with so little battery, Rick might struggle here unless Jacko lets him through. It doesn't look like he is. They're both using battery. Rick's going to have DRS, of course. It's another fastest lap from KTFO. Has he used all of his battery to do it? Looks like it, but doesn't matter. He's way out in front. But we're joining back to this battle in the Ferraris as Rick goes past his teammate for 3rd place. And pretty plain sailing move. They're not going to want to make any contact between each other, but Rick is now not got any battery left, and Jacko is going to have DRS up to turn 3. Harry Bix now sets the fastest lap on those softs, and Harass is looking at this battle and licking his lips. He's going to hope that this slows the Ferraris down, and he can get some points back on Jackalacco in the championship. He's the only one that can challenge, realistically. I mean, technically, Rick and Harass, and Hephaestus are all within a shot, even QB, technically. But realistically, the only one who can challenge really is Harass, and he is catching the Ferraris now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Harry Bix got past Taylor. Did he do that already? Or did I miss that? I think I might have missed that, but it was likely a pretty plain sailing move on the softs. So he's up into 7th, but Harass is watching these two like a hawk. He's going to be hoping they have some sort of collision. It would be a disaster for Ferrari if they did, but because they are hoping to secure the Constructors' Championship after this race. As it stands, they will do it at a canter. But if they have any sort of collision, they will be in trouble. So Jackalacco, having DRS off Rick, will ride on board as he looks to the inside, but he's not going to go for that on his teammate. Of course he's not. Down they come towards turn 2. He's going to have DRS up until turn 3 as well. Are they going to battle, or are they just going to hold position and hope that Harass doesn't catch up? He is catching, but he doesn't have a lot of battery left, and he's using all of it to try and catch, which is a huge mistake, because if he does catch them, he's not going to have anything in the tank in order to overtake. So you need to save your ARS, folks. But here comes Jackalacco, still right on the back of Rick as they come through the turn 5-6 chicane and through into the castle section. This is really the only battle on track other than Harry Bix catching Hephaestus. I'll keep an eye on that as well. He should get past him pretty easily, but of course Harry Bix will have to pit again for another set of mediums, because he didn't start on the mediums, I'm pretty sure. But this is the battle for the podium. It's Rick versus Jacko versus Harass. Can they make it work? Taylor in 8th right now. He's caught up to Harry Bix. Did Harry Bix make a mistake? He must have done. Has he lost his front wing? Yes. No? Yes, he has. He's lost some front wing end plate on the front left of his front wing. It's a disaster after disaster for Harry Bix. As Emiliano DNFs. No, not again. Oh, disaster for the Alfa Romeo driver. But we'll keep an eye on the battle for the lead as Jackalacco comes down the inside of his teammate straight into turn 1. That's a pretty plain sailing move, but Rick is going to have DRS up to turn 3, of course. And now Harass has joined the party as Harry Bix loses the place to Taylor. Oh, he was fighting so hard to get back up the grid on those softs, and he's just pushed it a bit too hard and lost some front wings, so disaster for him. But relief for Hephaestus, at least. Although the charging AlphaTauri of Harry Bix has now been replaced by the Aston Martin of Taylor behind him, so perhaps not so much relief. We'll keep an eye on that, but I've got to focus on this battle for the podium. Vika TFO very comfortable out in front. Mitch very comfortable in 2nd place, although losing time by the second to KTFO, who clearly loves this track. He is very, very fast around here, setting a new APPF1 lap record. Maybe he should have a dabble in Tier 1, KTFO. Unless you use assists, then turn them off and have a dabble anyway, because you're bloody quick, and without assists you might even be faster if you have them on. In fact, I'll check. Has he been in Tier 1 before? No, he hasn't, so I'm assuming he used assists then, but we'll keep an eye on this battle. Taylor is right in the back of Hephaestus, and it looks like Taylor's made a move on Hephaestus. Did Hephaestus make a mistake, maybe? Maybe so, but Harass wants to get past this Ferrari. He wants to have a go at Jackalacco, but he's out of battery, and this is the problem. If you use all of your battery to catch up to some cars, then once you get there, you're not going to have anything to overtake them, even with DRS, especially if they have DRS from their teammate ahead, which Rick does. So we'll keep an eye on this as well, because Hephaestus and Taylor are really battling right now. But it's the battle for the podium that's the most important thing. Yellow flag somewhere. Is that Harry Bix has DNF'd, I think? Yeah, I think he has. But Harass makes a wonderful move around the outside of turn 4. And Rick will be seething that he's allowed that to happen. He must have had a little mistake on the exit of turn 3. I was trying to see where Harry Bix had DNF'd, and missed what had happened to Rick, but Harass with a lovely move around the outside of turn 4, completely clean, and the Mercedes is into 4th, and Jackalacco will not be happy about that. There'll be some team radio going on there. Harry Bix left the session after his DNF. He has not had a good day, unfortunately. But now it's Rick versus Harass, and Harass is still using all of his battery where he doesn't need to. Use it on the big straight, Harass, otherwise you're going to have none left for it. Rick can't overtake you into turn 16. He just can't. But that's the way it is, and now Rick has ERS and DRS. I don't think Harass has any DRS, does he? No, he doesn't. He didn't get it off Jackalacco. Jackalacco's done his job in front, and Rick is back in front of the Mercedes. And we're back to a Ferrari 3-4 with Jackalacco on the podium, and Harass really struggling with that ERS usage to make headway on these Ferraris. And F1 is as much a battle of tactics as it is speed, and we're seeing that perfectly right here as if Harass had just saved his ERS as he was catching the Ferraris, they were battling anyway. He didn't need to use ERS to catch them. But if he hadn't used it, he would possibly be challenging Jacko for third now. But as it is, he's down in fifth and can't get past Rick. And this is perfect teamwork from Ferrari. They're keeping the Mercedes back. And they're keeping the pressure on the Mercedes to get past them. And Harass is not able to do it at the moment as they head through Castle section. Hephaestus is on the back of Taylor, so we'll keep an eye on that. They're pretty close together. But now Rick is back just behind Jacko again, but Jacko's got more ERS. It's the same story again as they come through turn 15. And onto the big straight. I think this is the longest flat-out section on the calendar. If someone wants to correct me in the comments on that, then go ahead. But I think it's the longest on the calendar. But here we go. Rick on the back of Jacko again, but he's got no ERS left. He dives down on the brakes on his teammate. Jackalacco goes for the switcheroo. Harass is in the pits. I don't know if he made a mistake or if he's going onto fresh tyres. Probably the latter, because he did put those mediums on quite early. But these Ferraris are battling, and this is wonderful for Harass, because if he can get out and not be held up too much by the battling Hephaestus and Taylor ahead of him, he can get a huge undercut on these Ferraris and possibly get ahead of them if they have to pit again, which they probably will. But we'll have to see. There's yellow flags in Sector 1. Is that Bluey who's lost it? Yes, he has. He's still got the car going, though, at least. So, at least there is that. But these Ferraris still battling, and I'll keep an eye on that gap between Harass and Festus, because that's going to come down quite quickly. And Harass is going to get held up here. This undercut might not go to plan if he gets held up by Taylor and Hephaestus. And he is catching him very quickly, so that might be exactly what happens. How much ERS has he got? 60%. He's a little slide out of there, maybe the dirty air, but this undercut isn't going to work if he gets held up. But he's going to want these Ferraris to battle like they have been in order to have more leverage on them with the undercut, and that gap between Harass and Fest is now down to less than a second, and Jacko has reacted to his championship rival doing the undercut. He has come into the pits for fresh medium tyres, I reckon. Rick stays out, of course they don't want to double stack, but where is Harass? Harass is now coming down the straight. We're going to be looking to see where they come out of the pits. Hephaestus is into the pits. Where's Jacko as Harass comes through turn 1? Where is the Ferrari? There he is. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but I think Harass is going to have him. He does. The undercut has worked, and Harass now has track position on Jackalacco. He's also going to get DRS from Taylor here, but he's used all of his ERS yet again, and Jackalacco has still got 50% left, so that could be crucial, but now there's an Aston Martin between them. Taylor could be playing a crucial role in this championship fight. It's not one that he's in, but he could be playing a role in it regardless, as he is keeping Jacko behind, and that gap is increasing now to Harass, as that overtake into turn 3 on Taylor is proving crucial. A mistake from Taylor, which means, oh, another mistake from Taylor, and Jacko is losing more and more time as Taylor makes mistakes after mistakes through the castle section. And he still can't get past, even down on the run to turn 15. Or can he? He's looking to the inside. What can he do? This is very risky. And he's backing out of that. He's not going to take that risk. He's too far ahead in the championship to take that risk. He just needs to keep it clean. Harass has already broke out a 3.4 second margin. Is Rick coming into the pits? Yes, he is. So where's he going to come out? I think he's going to come out behind Harass, but is he going to come out ahead of Jacko? It's a big question. I'm not sure, because he has been held up a lot by Taylor. As Taylor finally concedes the position. It's fastest lap from Harass. Taylor comes into the pits. Where are the Ferrari teammates going to be? Where is Rick? Look on the left-hand side of your screen. He's ahead of his teammate, and that is huge. Jackalacco down to 5th. Taylor playing a huge role in this championship fight without even meaning to. And Harass is up into 3rd place. Wow. What a bit of strategy and tactics that was. Harass getting past Taylor at turn 3, proving to be absolutely crucial. And he's now got track position, and he's got 11 laps to keep ahead of these Ferraris. But that's going to be tough, because Rick has a lot of pace. And Jacko has the superior ERS usage. So we'll have to see if Harass can hold on for a podium here. KTFO and Mitch are far out of reach. But this is the battle to watch. Hephaestus on the back of Bluey as well. I'll keep an eye on this as 3 championship protagonists are coming through the twisty section. And they're not too near each other. Hephaestus hit the back of Bluey. Oh, I don't know if he has damage. He may well do. He outbroke himself into Castle. It looks like Bluey might have damage as well. He might have been hit and then gone into the wall at the first turn of Castle. Yeah, Bluey does look slow. Oh, that's a disaster for those two, as Hephaestus, of course, looking to secure 3rd place in the championship again. As Mitch comes into the pits now. Oh no, he's just come out of the pits, and he's come out 3.4 seconds ahead of Harass. That is not uncatchable if Mitch makes a mistake. Mitch makes a big mistake, and Harass could be in for P2 here, which would be huge. As Rick is trying to catch, but Jackalacco is still just left stranded all the way behind. Bluey has now lost the place to Hephaestus. 9 cars still on track. And it's looking like a very tense and strategical battle between these 3. As Rick goes across there, that might have been a warning. No one with any track limits penalties so far, which is very good to see. It's surprisingly easy to go past track limits here. Especially at the corner Rick's just gone past, very easy to go over there. The final corner, if you get it wrong, turn 1 is pretty easy to do as well. So it's very nice to see none of these guys with any track limits penalties as VKTFO comes into the pits. Rick sets a purple sector 2. He's really chasing Harass. Jacko is going to be cheering his teammate on to get past the Mercedes, but he's only got 3% ERS. Harass has got 0%. They're both using all their ERS. They've both got 0%. Jackalacco has still got 40%, but he's 4 seconds down. He just doesn't have the pace to keep up with these two. But Rick, you're not going to get past someone with 0% ERS unless you're really close and they also have 0% ERS, which does seem to be the case. So Rick is going to be looking to see if he can get a really good exit onto one of these DRS straights, then he might have a chance to get past the Mercedes, especially since he does look very fast in the twisty sections especially. But all this could allow Jackalacco to catch up if they do keep fighting. Bluey comes into the pits. That was... oh, got far too much of that curb there, Rick. Little mistake from him. He's kept the car going. That's what matters. And Mitch is right on the back of KTFO, actually. That gap used to be 9 seconds. So KTFO must have made a mistake somewhere, because there's no way he would have caught that much without KTFO making a mistake. 9/10 behind. There could be a battle for the lead here as well between those two, but 4 seconds down is this battle between Harass and Rick. Jackalacco is just hanging back. He just wants to secure P5. He doesn't need to do anything rash. With this positive point system, all you need to do is finish if you've got a big lead, and you will hold that lead mostly. Doesn't matter where your rival is. So here comes Rick. He's going to have DRS. He's run out of all of his ERS. Harass isn't using any of his. He's saving it maybe. It looks like he's saving his ERS for the second DRS straight, which could be very wise indeed for the Mercedes driver, as Rick has none left. Harass will see the flashing red light that indicates less than 10% ERS left. And he's got DRS now. Can he get back past? He's still not using his ERS. He's saving it. Maybe for a later date, or maybe he's just saving it to keep Jacko behind if Jacko manages to come up to these guys. But now we have a battle for the lead. 7/10 between KTFO and Mitch. Mitch, of course, the debutee here in Baku in Tier 2. KTFO has been here before, but I think he was leading for a very long time last week in Bahrain, and then binned it after the last safety car. There was a safety car right at the end, and he binned it. And it doesn't matter how long you lead a race for, if you bin it under the safety car in the last few laps, you are going to the back of the grid. And I think that's exactly what happened, if I remember rightly. So he's going to be looking to right that wrong here in Baku and get the win for McLaren. But he's got to hold off Mitch to do it. Here they come. Mitch has got no ERS. VKTFO still got half of his battery, so that could be crucial in this battle, if it even turns into a battle. It's not really a battle at the moment. They're quite close through the twisty sections, but other than that, it's not really a battle. They're just quite close to each other at the moment, as Harass looks to get a heavy braking zone on Rick here. Here they come into the second DRS straight. Can Harass get a good exit? He has DRS, but he's not going to try anything. He's just going to hang behind the Ferrari. Keep it steady. 6 laps to go. Well, 6.5. They're just going to want to get to the end. Bluey's put on a fresh set of the soft tyres. So is he going for fastest lap, maybe? Could be. But, well, so far this season, Harass has led 42 laps in 5 races, and yet he is far behind Jacko in the Drivers' Championship. 14 points down. Or is it 13? 14 or 13? 14. He's 14 points down. Despite all those laps led, Jackalacco has only led 17. But KTFO is going to be right on the tail of that most laps led record after this race. He was on 10 laps led before this race. After this race, you've got to think it's going to be at least 20, as Mitch is now falling well back. He's given up the chase, and he's not going to have any leeway to pass KTFO unless there's a final twist to the tail here in this race. And Rick and Harass are going to look to catch Mitch as Mitch comes into the pits. Oh, he must have made a mistake. He must have lost his front wing. It's a disaster for the Haas driver. And that promotes Rick into second place. Harass into third place. That's why he fell off KTFO. He must have damaged his wing trying to catch him. And that promotes Jackalacco into fourth as well. Ah, the debutee. He was looking so good for a maiden podium. But now he's down to P5. Fresh soft tyres, yes, but he's 10 seconds behind Jackalacco. And that's going to be a huge ask to catch that many seconds in the short time we have remaining in this race. As Harass now only 5/10 behind Rick. They're 7 seconds behind KTFO. KTFO literally just needs to do a Sunday drive to the line and hope there is no safety car. But Harass is on for a podium here, as is Rick. But which order? Jackalacco is far behind. He's really fallen off these two now, the championship leader. But it doesn't matter, because he's got such a lead to carry into USA that, I mean, all he needs to do is drive it to the checkered flag, and that's what he's doing. The only threat could be Mitch if he does manage to catch him before the end, but that is going to be one heck of an ask for the rookie. Taylor in 6th, pretty comfortable. Hephaestus pretty comfortable in 7th. Bluey very far behind on the fresh softs. And also this will mean Mitch will probably get fastest laps, so there's a silver lining there as well for him. And QB cruising the car in 9th place. He may not be the quickest QB, but oh my word is he consistent. He finishes almost every race in the top 10 just from driving the car to the checkered flag, and that is sometimes all you need to do, and he's done it very well. He's currently 7th in the championship. After this race he's going to go up to, where is he now? He's 9th. He's going to get 12 points, so after this race, if things stand as they are, he will go up to 5th place in the championship. So huge kudos to QB, it has to be said. But this battle is still going on. That will have been a warning, almost certainly, for Harass, for track limits through there. As they come on to... they're coming on to lap 23. KTFO traversing the final corner now. You can see in the orange dot in the minimap on the bottom right. Rick and Harass still battling it out. It looks like Rick has the pace through here, through those last 2 corners. Rick has the pace, and perhaps through most of Sector 1 as well. But then Sector 2, Harass catches so much, but he just doesn't have the pace through the last 2 corners to have as small enough a gap to Rick in order to be able to have a chance to overtake him into turn 1 here. So there's problems for the Mercedes driver, but he is keeping his ERS now. Maybe he's going to go for an attack on the very last lap. Or maybe he'll be tempted by a little mistake there from Rick. No, he's still keeping his ERS to his chest. Mitch does set the fastest lap, and he's already only 5 seconds behind Jacko. And Jacko could find himself in danger of losing 4th place here. He could lose 2 points to Harass in this race instead of just 1. And if Harass overtakes Rick, it could be 3. So Mitch is flying right now. He wants that P4. He wants redemption after his mistake. Hephaestus is into the pits again. He can afford it, to be fair. He's 27 seconds ahead of Bluey. So he'll be strapping on a fresh set of softs. Maybe he made a mistake, or maybe he's going for fastest lap. Who knows? He'll have one hell of a job to take it off Mitch. Unless... Oh, Jackalaka was spun! It's a disaster for the championship leader! He's spun out of turn 6. Does he have any damage? It's the crucial question. Can I see any damage on that Ferrari? I think that front left end plate is missing. I think it might be. Let's see as he comes round. I'm still keeping an eye on it. Yes, he's lost that end plate. He's gone into the wall again. He's really struggling, the Ferrari driver. He's going to have to pit again. He's going to lose P5 to Taylor, who's going to go into the top 5 as it stands. Hephaestus, if he doesn't have any damage, is going to regret that pit stop, because he could have been on for P6 here. But of course he couldn't have known that that would happen to Jackalako. But finally, here comes Harass. He's not using any ERS. Rick has none left. He's not using overtake. He's going to go for the switcheroo through turn 1. As they come into turn 2, there's 3 laps to go. This is a crucial fight. If Harass can get P2, that's another point gained on Jackalako, who is having a miserable final few laps to this race. He's going to go into the pits and get caught by Taylor. Yeah, there he goes into the pits. He did lose some front wing. Taylor's going to be promoted into P5. And Jackalako, from what looked like perhaps a podium finish, after some shenanigans with Taylor blocking him, of course not intending to have any aspect on the championship fight, but just accidentally in the mix, and Harass got past him. Jackalako was stuck, and he lost the positions to his teammate and to his championship rival. And now these last few laps, where he really needed to hook it up and just reach the checkered flag, he spun it, perhaps under the pressure of Mitch catching him. and he's down to P6 now. And as it stands, Harass will gain 3 points on his championship rival. It's through the castle section. That's where Harass is losing time. Rick just hooks up the castle section so well compared to Harass. But Harass has finally thought, maybe I should save some of that battery, because Rick is using all of it. Look at that. He's still using overtake. He's got 1%, 0% left of that battery. Harass has got 40%. He knows he can just leave this until the final lap if he needs to. And that might be exactly what he does. He wants to save all of his ERS to try and catch Rick. He can still see that flashing red light on the back of the Ferrari. And I think that is exactly what his plan is. Save the ERS, keep the DRS on the straight so you can keep close to the Ferrari. You can see the red flashing light. He knows he's still out of ERS. There's the first time penalty for track limits of the race. It's for Bluey, as he tries to set fastest lap, I think. But we're concentrating on this battle. Harass now nearly up to 60% battery, whereas Rick is down on 20%, and no doubt he's going to use it all again. And Harass will be looking to make that overtake on the last lap of the race. Hephaestus sets the fastest lap with a 1:41.1, by the way. That'll be an extra point for him. He's just behind Jackalacco. He's still looking to secure his third place from Rick, but Rick is still under pressure from Harass. And yeah, you can see Harass loses so much time in the castle section. But if he's got all of that ERS, Rick's still got only 27%. There's a 40% difference in ERS, and it's going to be crucial as they come onto the home straight again. One more lap to go. KTFO is coming across the line to begin the final lap, as Harass still is saving his ERS. He wants that overtake on the final lap of the race. That is what he's planning. Rick has got nothing left. He's down to 1%. He's used it all to defend from Harass, and Harass is just remaining patient, using the benefit of the DRS, keeping his ERS. He's finally saving ERS after, for most of this race, being just as wasteful with it as Rick. Finally, he's began to save it, and it might well get him P2 here. He's still saving it. He's going to go for it at the final straight of the final lap. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have a run to the line unless there's a touch there. Oh, there was a touch. I don't think there was damage for Harass, but he did outbrake himself a bit there. And now they're battling in the middle of the track, and Harass, he doesn't want that. He's going to sit back. He knows he can get him on the straight. He still saw that flashing red light on Rick's car. He knows he can get him on the straight, and now he's using some ERS. Now he wants to stay with Rick. He wants to stay with the Ferrari to get onto the final lap and be enough behind him to get that DRS and make the overtake at the line. It's going to be close. We're going to have a drag race to the line between these two. What an exciting end to this Grand Prix. Rick is still using all of his ERS. Don't use it here, Rick. You need it for the final straight. But of course, he can't hear me. He's going to keep doing it. Here he comes down into the final corner now. Rick, 9% ERS, just above 10%, but that's not going to help. Harass is right behind. He's played this perfectly. What a lovely tactical race this has been from Harass. After losing his front wing on lap 3, going all the way to the back of the field, here he comes. He's got the ERS. He's got the DRS. To the line. VKTFO wins the race. Rick squeezes Harass to the wall, but it's not going to be enough. Harass takes P2 from the Ferrari. Lovely tactical racing from the Mercedes driver in those final few laps there to save the ERS and take P2. That is crucial for the championship. That's going to mean 4 points gained on his championship rival, and the gap will be only 10 points coming into the final Grand Prix at the US of A. Wow. Taylor coming home in P5. He's going to be so happy with that. Coming back to league racing, P5 in Tier 2. Great racing from Taylor, the head steward. Jackalacco comes across the line in a disappointing P6 after what could have been a podium, but it just didn't go his way today. Hephaestus will, I think he's still got fastest lap. We'll check that quickly. Can I check that? No, I can't check that. Okay, never mind. But Hephaestus comes home in P7, Bluey in P8, and QB will eventually come across the line to meet the checkered flag in P9. What a great race in Tier 2, as always. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. As QB uses all of his ERS in a last hurrah and gets to the line to finish a very respectable P9, and yet another top 10 finish for him. Well done, QB. But wow, what a race. Taylor gets driver of the day as well. He had a crucial role in this title battle between Harass and Jakalako. Unknowingly, he didn't mean to, but he did. But it is KTFO. I didn't really say much about him today, but he has been absolutely unbeatable in Baku today. I didn't say much about him because he was never in any battles. He was always too far in front. So well done to KTFO. Redemption after last week in Bahrain for the McLaren driver, and he'll be very happy with that. And he sets a new lap record in qualifying. So well done to him. It's only a matter of time before someone in APPF1 goes under 38 in Baku. But there we go. The winner is KTFO. So 20 points will go his way. Harass in P2 after a brilliant tactical race from him in the last few laps. Rick will have to settle for P3. Mitch in P4. It looked a certain P2, but he just lost it trying to catch up to KTFO. Had to pit again. Taylor in a brilliant P5 on his way back into league racing. Jakalako, very disappointing P6 for him. Hephaestus in P7 with the fastest lap, and that is a lap record around Baku for him as well, so well done to Hephaestus. Or a race lap record, I should say. Bluey in 8th, QB finishes 9th, and our DNFs, Harry Bix, unfortunately, after driving well, Emiliano, and TTV Max. What a great race in Tier 2. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed. Of course, Tier 2 sponsored by Positive Perception Media Design Products. Check them out on Instagram. They make some lovely liveries. I've seen them myself. And they do some great work, so do check them out. But that has been Tier 2 in Azerbaijan. We'll be back next week. Sumo will be back on the commentary, I believe. But I may be joining him in the co-commentary box, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll be here for round 7, the final race of the season in USA in Tier 2 next week. Congratulations to Ferrari on the Constructors' Championship. But that has been Tier 2. I've been Ghost. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.